You trying to convince me that this man has been eating 2,500 calories a day for 6 months while doing 5K walks and lifting in the gym? There's no way. It's physically impossible. If it was possible, Ethan could be given the Nobel Prize for solving hunger around the world. Ethan could be given the Nobel Prize for solving hunger around the world. Hey, you just give him whatever is in his body, give it to those starving people who can't get enough calories, and it prevents them from losing weight. It doesn't exist. You cannot break the laws of thermodynamics.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
When you're 440 pounds doing this kind of exercise, if he ate 4,000 calories a day, he would lose weight. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not speaking fairy tales. If he was actually walking the 5Ks, doing the cardio, lifting the weights, eating the diet, he would lose weight. 4,000 calories a day, he could easily lose weight. I've never had a client who weighs over 300 pounds who cannot lose weight on 3,000 calories, and that's with very little cardio. And so I guarantee at 400 plus pounds, losing weight, it's easy. But it's not easy if you're hungry and you're eating Doritos, candies, cookies, and so on in secret.
I think a lot of the hunger stuff for me is a mental game. Out here, dude, I'm weighing lettuce to the gram now. I never used to do that.
So you don't need to worry about weighing the lettuce. You need to stop eating the snacks. Rather than weighing the lettuce, weigh a minimum amount. You need to eat minimum 500 grams. The more, the better. The more lettuce you eat, the less of other shit you won't be able to eat because you'll be too full. And so every time you're craving something, every time you want to cheat on your diet, you eat a bigger and more massive salad.
Especially having Jacob just kind of like multiple times a day, every day we're talking or checking in or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like that accountability factor wasn't necessarily there.
Multiple times a day talking to your coach isn't as good as injecting terzipatide or Ozempic once a week. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So all of a sudden, that changes the game.
One injection of terzipatide or Ozempic a week. You can go to your doctor, go to Algorex or whatever, and don't have a coach. Remember, I am a coach. And so I'm giving you the secrets. Ozempic or terzipatide is better than a coach. No matter how much money you're spending on the coach, if you took Ozempic or terzipatide, your diet would be easier. It's even better than my cookbook, I'm sorry to say. Not as healthy as my cookbook. I don't want to admit this, but you're never hungry. The cookbook, it teaches you how to eat around your appetite, how to be full by eating special foods. Now, if you want to combine my cookbook and the terzipatide, you know how easy this is. It's impossible not to lose weight at this point.
What are we doing now, brother?
We're walking a 5K, man.
What's your fastest time ever?
19:39 a mile.
You want to try 19:35?
That about an hour for 5K, I do believe. 19:39. A mile is 1.6 kilometers, so that'd be like 4.8 kilometers is 3 miles, 3 times 19:38. So we're looking at about 1 hour for a 5K. Now, Ethan is over 2.5 times as heavy as Casey, and so he's going to burn approximately 2.5 times more calories. And so Ethan walking for 5K would be like Casey walking for probably about 13 kilometers.
Like when I'm sore after the gym, that sense of accomplishment outweighs that for sure. When it comes to something like this, sometimes that pain afterwards is just like
unbearable.
So this is what he's saying. If you want to read between the lines, yeah, I feel proud of myself for walking a 5K, but the suffering is so immense and the pain is so great after, it's not even worth it. And so I agree with him. It's too hard. You need to pace yourself. He doesn't need to walk for 5K an hour when you weigh 450 pounds. Casey, if you put on a 300-pound weight on your back and walk 5K, how would you feel? That would feel like Ethan. And so can you imagine the soreness? Carrying 2 individuals on your back, not 1, but 2. You wouldn't even be able to do it. And so it's too much. It's too hard. He needs to go easier. He needs to take his time. He needs to progressive overload. And so why not ride a bike stationary, go slowly on the treadmill, go slowly on the elliptical, and work your way up to being able to walk for 5K.
But like if you wanted to get a new pace, we should have gone to like an actual freaking road.
Well, before we knew it, we are halfway there, brother. You just do that again.
Let's do it.
They're only halfway. This reminds me of when I was on the exhibition ride and it had gone halfway and I thought it was done and I barely made it. And then the ride started turning the other way and it was just a mess all over the place. The poor person next to me, it was a nightmare. And so he only made it halfway.
We're closing in on it, Ethan. Let's go.
And so Ethan claims to do this 2 to 3 times a week, But upon being filmed doing it, I do believe it's his first time. I mean, he literally is saying it's one of the hardest things he's ever done in his life. How is that possible if he does it 2 to 3 times a week?
3.2 miles in 67 minutes. So we didn't hit our goal, but that was the most uneven ground in the world, and you still managed to do it.
That was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
I like this excuses, the uneven ground. And so rather than doing his PR of 60 minutes, it took 67 minutes. And so uneven ground, it added 7 minutes to his time. Guys, we're not talking about, like, he was on some gravel. These guys are so impressed by him going hard in the gym, and then he goes for a 5K walk, complains the whole time. And, oh, you're such an animal. No, he accomplished the goal. He walked the 5K. Hey, I'm satisfied. I'm not impressed with that, but I'm satisfied with your performance, which is what most women think when you're not asking.
And this whole meal has 896 calories, 104 grams of protein, 44 grams of fat, and just 22 grams of carbs.
And again, with my bowls, and I'm thinking, it's almost like they don't know how to diet. Like, essentially, this is what my book does. It takes meals like this, changes the ingredients around, and reduces the calories so that you can actually eat until you're full. Maybe it's a little bit less calories than is normal, but mostly all he did was add some spinach at the base, and that is it. I mean, he's already taken the low-fat hamburger, but we can see 44 grams of fat. How is that a low-fat meal? It is not low in calories. And so unless you're on a bulking diet, for example, you're Coach Greg and you're racing bikes, you're doing cardio, you can eat this. But for most people trying to lose weight, this is not low enough.
All the meals we've eaten today have some semblance of your old diet. Does this actually scratch the itch for you?
Absolutely.
If it actually scratched the itch for him, he would be continuing to lose weight, but yet he was 440 in January and he's approximately 440 right now. If he were 400 now or 399, I would say keep on going. I'm not saying that these meals aren't low enough in calories for Ethan to lose weight. Clearly they are, but he's eating in secret. It's impossible for Ethan to be eating 2,500 calories a day and to not be losing weight. You can choose to not believe me. You can choose to think that I'm the bad guy, or you can just assume I'm open, honest, and transparent, and I do in fact want to help. Whether Ethan listens to my advice or you, the viewer, who are trying to lose weight, listen to me, at least someone out there can be a benefit.
The worst thing I've done out here so far, a couple nights when it's late at night and I'm out of calories, I'll have something like a bowl of fruit or a protein bar or something.
Yeah, the worst cheat he's had so far is a bowl of fruit or a protein bar. Does anybody believe that? Literally, this exact diet, the one that we witnessed, and on top of that, add a bowl of fruit and a protein bar, he's still losing weight dramatically. And so it's simply not possible that since he's been 440 in January, that he's continued to only have small, healthy cheats since then.
But you haven't had any like sort of big slip up or anything like that? You've been locked in?
No, I came out here for a purpose, man.
And so you can believe him, you cannot believe him. I mean, frankly, it doesn't matter. He's trying, and eventually he will lose the weight. But do you know what will help him to lose the weight right now? Normally, I would say HDLT supplements, which of course would do that. I would talk about the cookbook, the GO2 Max, which would improve his cardio. He'd be walking faster than under an hour. But it's also a GLP. And whether you choose to get it at Algorex or from your doctor, if you're morbidly obese, I want you to think about it. Is it worth it? Is it worth me suffering, trying to avoid the food noise when I could literally take a medication that was designed for me in order to help?
Weird, dude, because like the scale has been so up and down with the water pill, the fluctuations, whatever. But like at the same time, like I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, whoa.
I've already explained this in every single video. You need to stop the once weekly weighings. You take your median weight, which is more like the average, and then you track that each and every week, because it doesn't matter if you're up one day, down the next, or up 1 week, down the next. What matters is what's the overall trend. Just like when I look at my bank account, some months it's up, some months it's down, depending on the investments. But overall, if I track year to year, it's going up by millions of dollars. And so the same can be applied to your weight. Every given week, it might be up or down. Any given day, the same exact thing. But every month, if you're not losing weight after a month, you're doing something wrong. You're not in a deficit. You need to get my book.
There's always room for dessert. What do we got here?
This is a reduced fat ice cream. The whole pint is 360 calories.
And so the 360 calorie ice cream before bed, of course, you could have my protein ice cream made in the blender or even a Ninja Creamy. But hey, it's going to work. And so all Ethan has to do is not cheat on his diet, and that means above and beyond the fruit and the protein bar he's eating, and keep it to 3,000 calories, and he should expect to lose 10 pounds per month and or more. And if he isn't, I guarantee it's because he's cheating on his diet. And so if we don't see Ethan under 400 pounds by the end of the year, you know he's cheated more than last time. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo. Please go to Algorex for all your supplemental needs, as well as HTLT supplements, and use code Greg. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops. And if you're interested in being sponsored or an affiliate, being coached by myself, or carrying my supplements in your store and or gym, click the link. And until next time, je suis parti.